I should post on this blog, the divorce group advised. I have no idea what to do. I'm depressed, afraid, and thinking terrible things. Though I'm not a flawless man, I believe that my life was ideal. I work full-time in big industry and am a member of the National Guard. My annual income exceeds 6 figures. I exercise, I constructed my own home, and I started a little farm. After 11 years of dating, my soon-to-be ex and I eventually got married 2 years ago. We were prepared to start a family when I recently got back from a combat deployment. While I was away for more than 6 months, I found out she was with a man she hired to fix our fence. They frequently engaged in unprotected intercourse. She developed feelings for him. Unlike with me, she experienced and felt things with him that she never did. She had met the small-town cowboy she had dreamed of. I'm not a Westerner. She is unaware that I am aware of their blatant cheating. Since I've returned home, she has behaved strangely, saying she lived alone for a year and got used to my absence. I believe the true explanation is that she just stays with me because I never left her, even if she is in love with him. She is aware of my skill as a provider and defender. All he is a younger, sexier cowboy who screws clients and is married with kids. What went wrong with me? I'm aware that I need to work on being more vulnerable, but this hurts so much. She talked about going away together and having children with him. She is leading a second life and acting as though nothing is wrong. This year she's organizing our planting season. We recently purchased additional hens. She talks to me about getting a doctor's appointment and having kids. I'm hiding behind the extreme stoicism the military taught me, and she doesn't know how completely damaged I am. I've discussed the specifics with my best friend and we've spoken. He believes I should file for divorce and get rid of her. He thinks we can't be friends if I try to make things right with her. We weren't married in a Catholic church, which is part of my Catholic identity. There are things I can do to make this function. It's not conceivable, in my opinion. What happens if I try to deploy it again? I'd rather not start over. I feel like I'm running out of time to have a committed wife and a farm full of children who I want to raise to be great Americans because I'm in my mid-30s. All I can do is weep silently and try not to shoot myself with my pistol as I try to think of a way to talk to her about this. I have no idea how to let go or how to start over. I was broken in half, believed I was the strongest man I knew, and now I'm gone. God, please, please assist me. Oh my God, OP, I apologize so much. All of your feelings are quite legitimate. Feeling broken at the moment is acceptable. Your life was completely turned upside down, so in all honesty, I think you have good reason to wonder if it's worth trying to work out. If someone had a history of cheating on you over chat, it would seem difficult to trust them while you were out of town. It's also difficult to think that someone you love and have been with for a long time couldn't tell, just by looking at you, that you're thinking of something. Update, January 24 *. As I was listening to Father Mike pray for people attempting to conceive on the Bible in the Year podcast this morning, I started crying 3 times at random while I was driving to work. I haven't shed a tear since my friend's death in 2010 while traveling from Iraq. Perhaps this is a sign of acceptance. I made appointments for 2 legal consultations in order to begin the filing process. She shows no regret, thus I don't think this is redeemable. I believe her to be a sociopath. Since the initial consultations are more than 3 weeks away, I have not been able to arrange any in-person mental health sessions. That's nonsense. I will look for a priest at my neighborhood parish. It was quite difficult to tell my mother and my closest friends today. Though I haven't yet confronted her, I'm preparing. Update 26 January 2023 *. I'm going to file for divorce today after 2 legal consultations. In light of all of your recommendations, I hired a PI. This guy's record includes 1 conviction, 5 aliases, and a suspended driver's license. He lives 15 minutes away from our house, is married, and is 28 years old. He has 2 children. While she was sleeping next to me last night, I had a panic attack and began sobbing uncontrollably while apologizing. Hey, maybe it's from something you picked up overseas, or it's the workout supplements you're taking. I've never seen you this upset. Maybe you should go see a doctor. Either she's really playing me, or she's as stupid as a cat that has the food dish in front of her face. Her birthday is January 29th, but that week I have to work at the refinery, so she's spending February 3rd to 6th with her pals in Key West. When she returns, I want to confront her, show her the divorce decree, and demand that she leave to live with her mother or sister. I had to let her go because I love her so much. I am being revealed this other side of God. This was all meant to happen, and He graciously granted me the ability to uncover the adultery in order to keep me from becoming a father to her children. I'm grateful for all of your support, which has helped me emerge from a difficult situation. I really appreciate it. I'll provide updates when they happen. Update January 28 th** this week, the refinery is operating a night shift. At 13:45, I woke up. The PI I hired sent me a message saying that she went to Qdoba for lunch with him while I was sleeping, and that when she got back, she went shopping. She replied she just went to Costco and Morris's when I inquired whether she went out to lunch. Once more, she was lying straight to my face as though nothing unusual had happened. She simply tried to tell me that because I usually work out before shift, I was drinking before my workout, and that's why I started weeping while Elliot Greer's song The End was playing. F you, I was yelling as I lifted 315 pounds in 5 sets of 10. Either this woman is playing a practical joke on me, or she truly believes she's getting away with this, since she just remarked, "Wow, you get frustrated when you work out in my CrossFit gym in the garage." When she returns on February 7th, the idea is to confront her. I'm working to get everything organized and filed so that I may close on my terms and be in a favorable position. Updated January 30th, 2023 ** I was unable to contain myself any longer. I confronted her this morning and told everyone in her family and the cowboy's now pregnant wife's family about it. She swears she wants this life and that she can change. She knew that would hurt me, so she refrained from telling me. It was only an affair. It had no significance. She was duped by that guy, and she was unaware of it. She headed over to her sister's place. I remained true to my beliefs. Revision, February 4th, 2023. She was gaslighted by her sister and relatives. It seems like I started this. It seems dismissive to have unprotected sex with another guy when I'm not feeling emotionally accessible. She claimed it was all made up to Cowboy's wife. Cowboy had made the decision to reconcile with his spouse. She is carrying his third child. Well, family first, my wife's family remarked, meaning that I'm not a member of their family and that they will support my wife rather than work towards our healing. When I suggested that she try to sort this out in individual treatment, she laughed. She believes that everything will work out and that I can be coerced into staying. Revised on February 8, 2023. I started the divorce process this morning after she signed the paperwork. We spoke for a while. She vowed to work hard over the next 89 days to demonstrate her sincere desire to save this marriage. I have my doubts. February 19, 2023 is the update. She is attempting to relocate with her company and is searching for homes in Texas. This will be much easier if she gets the job, so I hope it happens. Last news, May 11th is the final day of the divorce. Finally, the house belonged to me. She is relocating to Texas and changing employment. She never accepted accountability for ending our lives and still harbors regrets of her own. This is an update in a new post because I'm still unable to update my previous one. I appreciate everyone who followed along. Even if this hurts, I'm still going on. Arriving home to a situation that resulted in a divorce was much more difficult than the deployment. The most trying time in my life has been over the last few months since I came home from the Middle East. There are always two sides to any tale, of course, but this one crushed me as a man beyond belief. It tore me to the pieces of myself that I had learned to rely on. I had to learn to be vulnerable again. It's acceptable to acknowledge when you need assistance and when you can't manage a situation alone. As Dr. John Deloney frequently states, grief demands a witness. I was unable to just internalize this anguish. I am extremely grateful that the faith I had rediscovery elsewhere has helped me through this. It has been challenging to try to figure out why people do bad things or betray others, and I still don't know the answers. The light reveals the truth, and evil despises it. Everything happens for a purpose, even if that reason was to inform you that your chosen path was not to be a family man and a life with a specific person. I don't know where I would be at this point if it weren't for my faith, my closest academy buddies, friends, and family back home, and the men and women that deployed with me and kept in daily contact. Thank you to everyone who continued to text and call me when I was going through some really difficult times. It's time to write those stories. Together with someone who genuinely wants to, and to open a new chapter. I feel as though I've been unconscious for the last 20 years and am only now beginning to awaken. American Beauty by Lester Burnham, 1999. We'll find out what the community believes. Jokester316 responds, I'm glad to hear that you made it through the other side. You had to go through hell to get there, but you finally made it. Did you not provide the proof to Cowboy's wife? Do you think she's just in denial? It wasn't just a fling, she continued the affair even after you got home. She wasn't going to stop. She may even have tried to pawn off a fair baby off on you. You are not too old to start a family. Continue to heal. God has a plan for you. Now go start writing the next chapter of your life. Godspeed. Admirable at 801 chimes in, you know what, sometimes life gives you a bad woman so that when you get the good one, you appreciate her more. No matter what she says or her family spouts out, your wayward wife dearly regrets this. They do not show it, but they know they lost the real thing. So when you confronted her, she said he lied to her, but what did she do to you? She took the transfer, but she cannot transfer from herself. You should have zero contact to the zillion now. Once she realizes being with you was easy, she will try to come back. Watch for that. I know you're shaky from these blows, but pull yourself together. Get out and look for your life partner. You, like all of us now know, it's not a fairy tale. Guess what? You're only ready for marriage now. You learned that you're the most important part of your story. Your partner adds, and you allow that, but you remain the important part. You absolutely made the right choice by leaving. You did nothing wrong, and you did nothing to deserve this. It should be family first, but not in the way that your ex's family believes it to be. Your wife should never have looked outside the marriage, and if she was having feelings of loneliness, then that should have been a conversation that she had with you. OP, I'm so sorry. As much as it hurts, moving forward is the direction you want to be heading. Take your time because it does not take time. As much as life can break us, we become stronger at the broken parts. You came out alive, and you didn't let this defeat you. You will find that special someone who can't wait to see you walk through the door when you come back from work. Someone you will spend the rest of your life with. Here's to a beautiful life ahead of you filled with so much light and love. What do you think? Have you had a similar experience? Below, please share your stories with us. Following, Death by Soap Kimono. My boyfriend, 22M, cheated on me, 18F, with my best friend, 19F, while I was laying next to them. Hello everyone, yesterday I experienced something incredibly unpleasant, and I'm feeling very overwhelmed right now. I had known my friend for about 2 years in addition to being in a relationship with him for almost 3 years. I made the decision to go out for drinks with my girlfriend yesterday in order to enjoy a wonderful evening together. My boyfriend texted me while we were hanging out, asking if he could come over. I agreed with my girlfriend as well, and when he came over, we all had a great time. We returned to my friend's studio flat later. Throughout the process, I revealed a few personal issues, such as how my hair color occasionally made me feel silly and how uncomfortable I found the concept of threesomes. We watched the series together after getting to the apartment. Somehow, I must have slept off, because when I woke up, my girlfriend was caressing my boyfriend's tummy nonstop. I told my boyfriend right away that I was uncomfortable, but I ultimately went back to sleep. While my girlfriend was getting ready for bed, I saw that she had switched from her big t-shirt and slacks to a silk kimono, which caught my attention as unique. I fell back asleep because I was so tired. I heard heavy breathing and felt movement on the bed as I abruptly woke up. When I realized what was occurring, I became paralyzed. I headed to the restroom in an attempt to collect my thoughts and decide what to do next. I finally decided to get my belongings and head out. My boyfriend went to the restroom while I was packing, so I went over to my buddy and called her a rude person. She gave me a weak apology in return, but I didn't find it very meaningful. I immediately canceled our connection when my boyfriend came into the room. I packed up my items and headed out. I told him no, and he followed, begging to take me home and make sure I was safe. He kept racing after me as I walked home, telling me how foolish he had been and how he never wanted to lose me. Although that was the first time I had seen him cry, I was too cold to care by then. Right now, I don't know what to do. Since my friend is in my class, I see her frequently at school, and I'm not sure how to approach the situation. My mind is racing with uncertainty and rage. Update. Hello everyone, let me start by expressing my gratitude to each and every one of you for your incredible support. It really is everything to me. Let's begin the story now. When I went to fetch my stuff from my boyfriend's apartment, things got rather serious. We got to conversing, and before I knew it, I was screaming loudly. The good news is that I was able to hear his side of the tale at last. My girlfriend and boyfriend, who were both into vaping, apparently got into it all when we were hanging out and binge-watching a show. I never understood the draw, though. Nevertheless, it appears that my partner has a penchant for constantly being broke and sulking off other people. And what do you know? She even took advantage of my boyfriend's vape pen as they were smoking. There was an unsettling situation. This is where the sneakiness started, as my partner noticed that my girlfriend was preoccupied with fixing her blouse. She purposefully positioned the vaporizer between her breasts so he couldn't ignore it. And to top it off, she continued to unbutton her shirt so he could see it all. Every time, the poor guy had to extricate the vaporizer from his booby trap. She was then massaging my boyfriend's chest when I awoke and discovered them in the act. Creating the humorous tale is how I deal with things. Inside, I'm still dying. Now, as soon as my girlfriend walked to the restroom, I went directly up to my lover. I made the decision to let things settle down and not make a big deal out of it. But then I observed something strange. My girlfriend, who doesn't wear kimonos very often, had changed into one. She usually wears baggy jeans and t-shirts. Anyway, I fell asleep again since I was too tired to think about it. I had no idea that I was sound asleep. My significant other was putting on the charm. She showed my boyfriend more of herself when she took off the kimono. She moved, trying to give him a kiss, but at first he turned her down. But perseverance paid off, and in the end he caved. She began tormenting herself in front of him, even moving his hand over her body, which intensified the situation. I woke up at that point, feeling and hearing everything. I was compelled to share the story with my lover after our passionate talk. I shared it with my entire class in the end, so they were all aware of what had occurred. When I finally had to see her again, I had to get the Apple Pencil back from her. Fast forward to that day. Surprisingly, my Apple Pencil was the first item she gave me. Talks among my classmates hummed as the class started. That was my cue to speak up when someone said, "That's one messed up story you've got there." You think that's messed up? I shot back, sparking a conversation. Others spoke up and shared their opinions. She began by saying that others shouldn't get involved because it was our business. She did, however, acknowledge that she would do it again, even with a different best friend. It was a startling admission that painted her as a seriously disturbed person. This is when the exciting part starts. I had no idea that my narrative had found its way onto TikTok and was going viral. Surprisingly, I was also thankful in private for the publicity. In the present day, she went back to school, presenting herself as though nothing had happened and she had done nothing improper. But the TikTok had already been seen by a large number of our school students, and it had swiftly gained local attention. Watching her discomfort was the nicest part. During our school movie night, my story was the main topic of discussion. Knowing that everyone was aware of the truth was an amazing sensation. It was wonderful to watch her alone as she sat at the front of the theater. Regretfully, she later joined our group with a startling lack of timidity. She had even told a couple of her friends a version of the story, but she had omitted some important aspects in order to avoid the drama. She says she was pushed into it, but given everything I had heard, seen, and understood about this person, I wasn't sure I could trust her justifications. I'm thinking of exposing her identity and her true self on Reddit and TikTok at this point. I won't put up with her acting all haughty and taking pride in her behavior, even if she pretends as like she doesn't care. It's time to confront her and ensure that her acts have repercussions. To be clear, I don't hold her completely responsible for what occurred, but her treatment of the incident has been quite nasty. But in the case of my ex-boyfriend, I can discern sincere regret in his behavior. The thrill I used to get from exacting retribution or taking additional action against him has vanished as a result of this realization. The community is thinking of two things. Church 78 wants to make it clear that, even while doxing might be entertaining, it is illegal and may result in severe consequences. Be content to move on and find comfort in the fact that she is the class gossip. Bite Me 717 claims that I would have to inform her that she appears to be a walking STD and is filthy and unpleasant. This further renders your former partner repulsive and vile. Inform your partner that he must remain with her since too many vile and repulsive individuals like them deserve one another. You truly escaped a serious situation with both of them, don't allow them to re-enter your life. She's just another girl, you know, so I would advise all of your pals to keep her away from their boyfriends. Act as though neither exist, advises Winterfront 1431, and if someone asks, be sure to tell them what terrible people they are and what her name is. Not him, only regretful that you woke up. Whoa! Do you believe that they had a relationship before anything similar happened? Making such a move in your direct line of sight seems brave of your former closest friend. It also seems strange that you would have fallen back asleep after witnessing her hands on your partner, especially after expressing your discomfort with the activity, if it was their first time engaging in such behavior.